Hello, everyone. So, got a new video today. It says here, chloroform fetish doctor violated the nanny. Well, hopefully the nanny's of age. You know what? In my head, I'm like, that's better, right? But nah, it's still pretty terrible. Anyways, let's get into it.
Doctor with a so-called chloroform fetish admits to drugging his nanny so he could sexually abuse her. I have the disturbing details of the case out of New York.
Okay, so he wasn't caught. He just like, well, he was caught, but he was just like, yeah, this is what I like to do. And, the nanny got it. She was there. The crazy that's in the world, it still surprises me. Hey, so it keeps lives interesting, right? That's wild.
New York, and how long this doctor will spend behind bars. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. From the outside looking in, Paul Giacopelli seems like a normal guy. He had a wife and twin daughters with special needs, and he was a doctor working as an...
Both his daughters had special... I mean, one though twins, but was his wife like his first cousin or something?
Anesthesiologist. But Giacopelli was not to be trusted, according to investigators and the prosecutor in Putnam County, New York, which is about 54 miles outside of New York City.
Yeah, but that explains why he got into that job, right? I mean, if that's his fetish, it makes sense why you have a passion for being an God damn it, anesthesiologist.
Giacopelli has admitted to using drugs from the hospital where he worked, specifically sevoflurane.
How are doctors even allowed to just take stuff home? You'd think they would be tracked or something. But I guess they probably have a certain amount of medicine that they can kind of write off.
To drug his nanny so he could sexually abuse her as she slept in his home to care for his children. Giacopelli had tried to get the charges thrown out, but the judge denied the motion, and the decision denying that motion...
Why would he admitted to it? Why would he try to throw the charges out? Why does this nanny keep falling asleep and not think something suspicious is going on? Some people have no sense of danger.
Motion included a lot of information about the case. The complainant testified that she worked as a nanny for defendant from September 2020 to December 2023,
That's a long time.
Providing residential child care for defendant's children who have special needs. She stated that her work hours in that role were Monday to Friday mornings and about 1 or 2 overnight shifts when she would sleep over at defendant's residence. The woman testified that she worked these
so she was supposed to sleep. And that sounds like a good job, too, if you could sleep during it. So she probably, liked her work, but not waking up sore. That's not age related. That's you've been fiddled with.
Overnight shifts when Giacopelli was on call at the hospital where he worked as an anesthesiologist. The complainant recounted 4 separate nights in late 2023. She described that she worked overnight shifts at defendant's residence, babysitting the children. And after she fell asleep, she woke up to a rag being held over her face, smelled chemicals, and then she blacked out about 2 or 3 seconds later.
Bro, I thought he put something in her drink or That's terrifying, man. That's you didn't even get to wake up all the way. That's scary as hell.
Of course, the woman became very suspicious. Who wouldn't?
Suspicious? I would be more than suspicious. Let's just say that.
A rag being placed over your face and then blacking out. On December 29th of last year, the records say, the nanny testified that she brought an Arlo security camera to Giacopelli's house with her and set it up behind the humidifier of a turtle tank. The nanny testified that she went to sleep and then awoke briefly to a rag over her face and then again smelled the chemicals and blacked out. The court filings said the nanny viewed the contents of the video camera at approximately 2 a.m. on the morning of December 30th, 2023. The Arlo security camera set up by the complainant recorded 9 clips. Those clips showed Giacopelli assaulting the nanny, who left the home and then went to the hospital. Giacopelli ultimately confessed to drugging the nanny with that drug, sevoflurane, that he brought home from work, telling a detective that she was the, quote, easiest target because she was a heavy sleeper.
Or she was just a sleeper. She's tired. It's overnight. That's when people usually sleep. She was probably the easiest target because she was right there. You didn't have to go nowhere to find her. And also, for some reason, waking up to being to a rag in her face only made her suspicious. She's like a goddamn, it's like a security guard in a video game.
Court documents say Giacopelli admitted to fondling the woman's breasts and then assaulting her in other ways with his hands. Giacopelli pleaded guilty to 2 felonies, sexual abuse in the first degree and assault in the second degree. The district attorney, Robert Tendy, said in a...
Who the hell takes a picture like this? What the hell is wrong with you, sir?
Statement, I'm mostly proud of the victim's courage in going through this process, which led to the defendant's arrest and conviction. Giacopelli will be sentenced in November. As part of the plea agreement, he will serve 4 years in prison, and then he'll be on probation for 10 years after that. And he will have to register as a sex offender.
Definitely. Register him twice. Jesus Christ. That's some scary stuff.
Giacopelli.
And he, like, to imagine that he did this and then tells the police, hey, she was an easy target, dog. Like, what am I supposed to do? You, sir, are a monster.
He was a doctor. He's somebody that a person would feel like they could trust. But
What?
this case just goes
Why would you feel like you could trust a doctor? I mean, I suppose if they're doing their jobs in a hospital when it's monitored, but there's certain jobs in the world that are attractive to certain deviant individuals, right? Not saying that they're bad people, but they're not normal, right? Like, normal people aren't interested in the idea of just being a doctor unless they just want money, right? Then they'll choose doctor or lawyers. Like, you just get, you will get either greedy people or deviants or maybe just normal empathetic people. But the majority is going to be greedy, and you're going to get as many deviants as you're going to get empathetic good people, right? In those high paying jobs like doctors, lawyers, that kind of stuff. So it's police officers also apply with that as well. Like, it's a crapshoot, man. And you can't really trust those people outside of, like, if you get to know them, something like that. But they even then they put on a face, and it's very hard to trust them with your safety. You know what I mean? It's one thing you trust them, there's a lot of people around, or you're in a relationship with them, that's fine. You kind of get to know them that way. But, like, if you have a job like that where you're sleeping over at the home and you're just a woman by yourself in this house with this dude that could do anything to you, that is not the time to trust. That's the time when you should, like, consider having some mace on you, something, man. Like, I don't know. That just seems like a dangerous situation. I wouldn't go with trust with that. I would be like, trust but verify. Have yourself something on you to defend yourself.
To show you that you can't be too careful about the people that you meet, no matter their profession. Truthfinder.com is a website that can help.
All right.
Her admitting to bringing home anesthesia from the hospital and drugging his nanny.
It's the stuff of nightmares, honestly. It's something that you couldn't even think up. It would only...
I can think up that. That seems like if she was my girlfriend or something like that, that would be the first thing I would be worried about. Like, oh, you sleeping over at their home? Like, You know what I mean? Like, take precaution. I don't want dude to do anything to you, stuff like that. That would be the first thing that will come to my mind. But hey, these ladies just live life. They just live life, man. They're all free. It's 2024. Anyways, until next time.